10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Fuel community. My name is Wack. Today is July 13th, and we've got an episode today for you that covers a whole lot of stuff that's not directly about Rocket Pool, but definitely very important. So the main news is that anyone's talking about today is that Ripple's sales of the XRP token do not constitute an offer of investment contracts. And this is according to the judge trying the case. So that was Judge Torres. We're going to talk about that a little bit more. But basically, for those of you who don't know, the SEC sued Ripple about 2 years ago, saying that when XRP token was sold by Ripple, it was a security, and the sale of that was an unregistered security, and basically that's really bad. And as the case has gone on, now today there was this news basically came out that the court was saying that it wasn't a security. But of course, we're going to delve a little bit deeper into this and find out what's going on. So let's start here. And we can change my screen so it looks better. So in trading, like, the prices started moving for crypto, and Bossy was like, holy pump, what is this green stuff basically? And people saying nice one, the prices were going vertical. Dibsy says, wake me up when it passes 200. And I post a tweet, the one that I just showed you, saying XRP is not a security, and saying, Dibsy, what are you hearing? And he says, I'm not hearing anything until reading this tweet, because the decision had literally just come out, like a matter of like minutes earlier, seconds earlier. And then, I was like saying the crypto Twitch is all over it. The prices, of course, have started moving bigly. And Disney says that ETH pump is definitely related to this decision. I need to read it. So let's skip ahead a little bit. We're going to be talking about Dibsy a lot in this part of the episode, because of course he's a lawyer who has a very deep interest in cryptocurrencies. Even though that's not his legal specialty, he's very aware of the law around cryptocurrencies. So we've mentioned him in the Rocket Fuel lots of times. So he says, if this decision holds, will the SEC appeal? It will have cascading effect on all of SEC's litigations. And he says, I can't imagine that this won't be appealed. So here, Jasper shared a tweet as well for Meta Lawman saying the Ripple decision is out. It's a split decision, but this, like, Disney here says, I want to read it. And I shared the quick quote here from Judge Torres saying, XRP as a digital token is not in and of itself a contract, transaction, or scheme that embodies the Aave requirements of an investment contract. Now, the Aave test is a test that was established, I think, in like 1930s or something like that, when the SEC, like around the time the SEC was launched, and they had this idea that if you you have to meet these 4 criteria for something to be a security, and if it is a security, then it has to be regulated by the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission. And of course, the issue with that is, like, they make it really strict for who can and can't invest in certain things, and how the protocols and projects have to like report certain things. It's like really onerous, and it'll basically like make it really difficult for people in the US to access cryptocurrency products, unless of course they're an accredited investor. So the thing with the XRP case was, a lot of people thought that this was, a slam dunk security like offering, because of the way it was done, because there was very little decentralization. There was just lots of like a lot of people thought that this was very much a security. So the fact that the court here is ruling that it's not a security is big news, because of course, if XRP is not a security, then the same logic could be applied to the vast majority of cryptocurrencies that are out there right now, including the ones that the SEC is currently going after, that we talked about on Rocket Fuel a few weeks ago. So let's move forward now. We've got some more messages here from Dibsy, and he says, I shared the quote that I shared. He says, we need nuance to this. This is prelude to nuance. I need to read it. And I said, yeah, we need that nuance, because there's a lot going on over here. So here, the Hans Gruber said, does this ruling set a precedent for all ICOs and more relevant to us as an RPL? So Dibsy has talked quite openly a few times about how he thinks the RPL token might be security, and there are ramifications of that. But with XRP not being security potentially, then where does that leave RPL? So in replying, he said preliminary answer without reading is no, because this is just an order ruling on a summary judgment motion. So it's not technically the outcome of the case. This is just an order ruling on the summary judgment motion, and that is what we're seeing here. So it doesn't necessarily set a precedent that you can use. We're going to come and talk about that later. So here then Dibsy started sharing parts of the report because he got his hands on it. He says this is a summary judgment. Summary judgment is appropriate where the record shows there is no genuine dispute as to any material fact, and that the moving party is entitled to judgment as a matter of law. A genuine dispute exists if evidence is such that a reasonable jury could return a verdict for the non-moving party. I'm not a lawyer. I studied law in school, but that was a long time ago, 20 years ago. So let's I don't remember those days very well, so let's not talk about that. But anyway, here the legend of Thomas continues, because on May 1st he said that he started buying coin, and since then coin has been doing really well. I think it was like $37 at the time, and now it's $100. So there's more here, screenshots that Dibsy sharing from the ruling. It says the second prong of the Aave test, the existence of common enterprise, and then talking about that, and then the ton blockchain finding different things. So it says it found a contract, horizontal monality, a common enterprise. Court found expectations of profits. So he says I have to read the whole decision to do TLDR. So he was answering these in real time. So let's go forward. We already saw that part. So here Dibsy said, who wants the TLDR? And he says that XRP and SEC are going to have to go to trial on the institutional sales as unregistered securities and whether the XRP guys aided and abetted. So that's the institutional side of it. He says other cases involving sales from digital asset exchanges can levy this language regarding programmatic sales and no satisfaction of the expectation of profit prong of the Aave test. And then he shares the XRP chart, and it's literally a vertical line straight up. And yeah, it went up I think 70 or 75% at one point today. So it really flew up. And then there's more quotes from Dibsy here. He says, the explain M5 version of it is that it says it means the summary judgment motion isn't binding precedent, but it is persuasive authority for similar actions brought by the SEC with allegations of unregistered offerings on exchanges. So it says Binance lawyers are going to destroy the SEC with this. I think even more so, Coinbase's lawyers are going to really use this to attack the SEC, because Binance had a whole bunch of other stuff going on as well, but Coinbase were being sued for listing unregistered securities. So the idea is that basically if you were an institution buying into the ICO, then you were getting a security. But if you were a regular person buying the XRP token on the exchange, then at that point it wasn't a security. So Coinbase probably could argue that all they do is they do the exchange part of it, and at that point it's not a security. So if it applies to XRP, maybe it applies to all the other tokens they've listed as well. So this is really interesting. That's going to come out from this. But yeah, this whole discussion was going on and on quite well. And yeah, that's kind of what Dibsy's summary was going into that part of it. Then let's have a look at some of the reaction on Twitter, because this is the only thing that people on Twitter have been talking about today. So here we have a tweet thread, from the tweet threader Adam Cochran, and he says the Ripple case, here's the good and the bad, but it's mostly very good for alts and surprisingly a big win for XRP. The first judge did decide institutional sales and fundraising was securities. So this is therefore, having considered the economic reality and totality of circumstances surrounding institutional sales, the court concludes that XRP's institutional sales, or XRP, constituted the unregistered offer and sale of investment contracts in violation of Section 5 of the Securities Act. So here, that's an issue. So, they'll probably go to court for that. It says, but the programmatic sale on exchanges didn't meet third prong of the Aave. So sales to users via exchanges was fine as long as it was through an order book and not an ICO, IEO, launchpad type of thing. So if you have a look at the the text here, it says, therefore, the vast majority of individuals who purchased XRP from digital asset exchanges did not invest their money in Ripple at all. An institutional buyer knowingly purchased XRP directly from Ripple pursuant to a contract. But the economic reality is that programmatic buyer stood in the same shoes as secondary market purchaser who did not know to whom or what it was paying its money. And then it goes on to say, therefore, having considered the economic reality and totality of circumstances, the court concludes that Ripple's programmatic sales of XRP did not constitute the offer and sale of investment contracts. And then Adam goes on to explain, he says, bounties, investments in others using XRP, grants and using XRP and transfers to execs in XRP are not considered securities. And then it says here, therefore, having considered the economic reality and totality of circumstances, the court concludes that Ripple's other distributions did not constitute the offer and sale of investment contracts. Now, this has interesting ramifications for people who get paid in crypto, because even if the token, if that token like went through an ICO and there was a security at that point, potentially, then you getting paid in that is not a part of that security aspect of it. So that's really interesting. And then Adam here says, overall, it's a huge win. XRP is one of the most centralized foundations with key figurehead who had standard sales via exchanges and formal distribution programs. If those aren't securities, nearly nothing sold via exchange is. He says 5 out of 5. The moral is don't do institutional private rounds over the counter, sell via exchanges, distribute via protocol natively, and FU Gensler win. And he says, PS, if XRP isn't a security, clearly BTC and ETH are not either. Good luck on stopping the ETF now, Gensler. One huge effing winner here is the exchanges. If institutional sales over the counter and direct token sales raises our securities, then all selling is going to flow through public order books again. No more billions in convertible funding rounds early on. Now, to be fair, remember, this is only on the summary judgment, and so you have to have this go further to trial and appeal, etc. It doesn't mean the case is closed, but it's a huge win, and it's well reasoned. So what happened right away after that? Coinbase, of course, who are currently being sued by the SEC for listing securities, released this tweet saying Coinbase will re-enable trading of XRP on the XRP network. Do not send this asset over other networks or your funds may be lost. Transfers for this asset remain available on Coinbase and Coinbase exchange in the regions where trading is supported. Trading is anticipated to begin later today if liquidity conditions are met. Once sufficient supply of this asset is established, trading on our XRP USD, USDT and Euro trading pairs will launch in phases. Support for XRP may be restricted in some supported jurisdictions. So yeah, Coinbase, I think this here saying, FU to the SEC, saying, the tokens we've listed are not securities. The court literally said that when you have tokens on exchanges like this, they're not securities. We're not offering any securities. None of the tokens on our platform are securities. And just so, we're making it totally clear to you that your own courts have said this is not a security, so we're listing it again. Because Coinbase famously delisted XRP in the early days of the lawsuit. And these are the kind of things that are going to like the shockwaves that are going to come out of this decision in the coming weeks and months as we get more clarity and as it goes to trial, and other cases against the SEC will use some of this information as well. So it's really fascinating. Of course, what happens Twitter here, we have Eric Connor who says, this is my mood, the SEC is dead, crypto Twitter is celebrating its death. And then we have Anthony Sassano here who says the SEC can't classify anything as a security. The Bitcoin ETF is going to get approved. Recession ends up being mostly avoided. He says avoided, as in mostly avoided, like maybe a soft landing of some sorts. He says rate rise is going to finish. Maybe we've got one more rise left this month. He says inflation keeps going down and we are so effing back. Basically, like he's saying that all the catalysts for a bull market are here now, and this is the point where even the laggards who kind of like wondering, is the bull market back, isn't the bull market back, now is the time when they're going to see that the bull market is back. Of course, this is not financial advice from me. I'm just quoting what Anthony Sassano is saying here. Okay, moving on from that, so one of the things that happened because of this is that the ETH price, of course, went up. We're going to talk about the prices in a second, but rETH has become a $1 billion market cap token now, which is really great. So congratulations to the Rocket Pool protocol for rETH, hitting $1 billion in market cap. That's really, really great. CoinGecko today is like really funny to have a look at. Let me show you a little bit more of the screen. So like the tokens here, like pretty much everything is green, and on the right it's just like vertical, pretty much. So there's very, very few tokens that are actually red today. The vast majority of them are green, with a couple of like really strong outliers. So XRP is up 73% for today. Stellar is up 61% today. A whole bunch of tokens, especially those that there was suspicions around them being securities, those are all up big. So Cardano is up 20%, Solana is up 17%. Ethereum hasn't moved as much. Bitcoin, of course, hasn't moved that much, but the alt market has just boomed massively in that time. And of course, that boom that increase in the price has led to ETH going above $2,000, and of course then rETH going over $1 billion in market cap. One of the interesting things that happened is like the LDO token has had a 18% pump today, but the RPL token hasn't had an equivalent pump. So here you can see rETH now is number 43 on CoinGecko, and the RPL token is still it went up 5.5% today. It's number 62. So it's not moving as much as some of the other tokens have moved. But LDO, I guess there was a lot of talk about them getting a Wells notice and kind of getting sued as well because of security stuff. But I guess part of the reason why it's gone up so much is that might be avoided now. I'm not sure. Of course, it's not legal advice, but that's where we stand there. And since yesterday we had a whole bunch of ETH deposited into the deposit pool, and then today we've had a whole bunch more ETH deposited as well. So in the last couple of days we've had 10,000, and now on the weekly deposits, way better now than the last pretty much month and a half since the beginning of June. This is the best week we've had since the beginning of June. So it's really great that the Rocket Pool protocol and the rETH minting has gone back up, and so much so that there's actually a balance now in the deposit pool of 5,000 ETH. So if you want to spin up mini pools, there's no waiting in the Rocket Pool queue to get matched with that. Okay, next we talked about Mark Zeller giving the news of RPL coming, getting the Chainlink Oracle. Well, as soon as that happened, then the proposal went live on the Aave governance forum to add RPL to Aave version 3 on the Ethereum pool, and they talked about the supply cap will be and borrow cap will be 105,000 RPL, and the variable slopes will be 8.5% and 87%. This has now reached quorum with Aave, Chan, and Michigan Blockchain voting in favor of it, and that's pushed us over quorum now. So there's the current votes cast at 395,000, and the quorum was 320,000. So this is really great. Mark and the Aave guys moved really fast with this, so I would expect this to be on mainnet within a matter of days, maybe a week, which is really exciting. And then finally for today's episode, we've got a couple of new grants that have come in. So one of them came in from Jasper. He says the project of the work is to continue the hosting the Twitter Spaces, and he's putting out a grant for that. Jasper previously got paid by the Rocket Pool team, and he is putting his grant through for that. And then another thing happened as well is that I put out another grant for Rocket Fuel. So when I got awarded the grant in January, it was for 6 months. So I'm applying for a new grant for Rocket Fuel, saying that I've put out a whole lot of episodes since then, and the work continues, and it'll just keep continuing with this. So there's a whole bunch of metrics there about like viewing and subscribers and like followers and all that kind of stuff. So if you're curious to read the case that I present, then go check out the grants page. Also, one of the things that I did was I included some testimonials from community members in the grant application, just to show how valuable Rocket Fuel is to the Rocket Pool community. So here, we had some really, really kind words, like genuinely like amazing words said by people like Superphase, Marceau, Mambo-san, Shifrin, Woofer, Sneaky Ninja Guy, Dave Marley, Langers, Patches, Jagan Sign Up, and rETH. So thank you all of those people who provided testimonials. It's like the kindness that they showed was just beautiful, like so touching. And then I go on and talk about like the grant that I won and stuff. So check out the grants. There's a discussion thread. If you have any questions of me about rocket fuel and my grant, then if you go to the grants and bounties page on the forum, there's a link saying community discussion of submitted applications. Feel free to ask questions in here. You can DM me, not sorry, DM me, tag me in any comments here, and I'll be happy to answer any questions or expand on any points that you all bring up. So on that note, I'm going to end today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed today's pump. The market sentiment is really, really good right now, and I don't know how that's going to last or not last. People have PTSD about these fake pumps and dumps, but it seems like something that happened today was quite monumental. So let's see what the clarity we get in the days coming, and let's see how things develop. But as always, I'll be here to cover it all for you and share news as I come across it. So thank you all for watching, listening, subscribing, being part of the Rocket Fuel community, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.